Welcome to another edition of the Creative Forum here on ABS TV. I am your host, Divine Onyakwena. And it promises to be a segment filled with interesting creative content for you, as always. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break. And you're welcome back from the break. Now it's time to introduce our guests for today. I have amazing people with me here in the studio. One of them is a Nigerian documentary photographer and a film director. He is also known for directing high school web miniseries such as like Filtered Waters and of course 2022 Nigerian dance drama TV series Breakout. On the 10th of September 2022, he was announced the winner of the Outstanding Movie Maker Award in the 2022 edition of the Anambra Media and Entertainment Awards. I'm talking about Mr. Benneth Nwankwo. Benneth, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and the next person is the CEO of Mike Streams Production Limited, a film company in Nigeria, and also the CEO and founder of the first Nigerian online film school, Mike Film Institute. So far, he's been known for some of the movies he has produced, such as Hustler, Stranded, The Little Things That Matter, Dreamers, and so much more. I'm talking about Mr. Michael Chineme Ike. Michael, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and today we'll be discussing the topic creativity in the directors behind the scenes. So let's get right to it. Okay, so Bennett, if I should ask, what inspired you to be a film director? Were you towing another career path before you switched?
Okay, funnily enough, I started out as a documentary photographer. She started in the year 2010.
Okay.
I haven't gone to Multi-Choice Film Academy in Lagos, so I went specifically for photography because I had passion for visuals. Huh? But I actually started out as a writer and a poet, but along the line, I saw that focus has been shifting to the other part, visuals. Okay. Like they said, Nigerians no longer read. So I decided to explore it. But along the line, I decided to have an organized first indigenous photo exhibition in Anambra State in the year 2021. So I decided to, with my friend Michael, to explore filmmaking, and that's how the thing started.
Oh wow! Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So what about you, Michael? As a film director from the early days, can you recall like the first movie or film that you produced and directed? What was the experience like?
Okay, well, just like Bennett, I actually started as a writer, which you are aware of. But mine was, I love telling stories actually. But then you notice that people do not read. And, I happened to also get admission to study theater and film studies in UNIZIK. So I went into filmmaking. At first, I was going around trying to be in films. But, in Nigeria, you have to go for auditions, which the audition is actually after they have actually selected people that would do the film, So eventually, I'm just one of the person that I like to create things by myself. I don't like to wait for people to do things for me. So I felt like, what? I think I can do this. Okay. So I in 2020, January, I did produce my first film, but I was not the director.
Okay.
So, but then after that, during the lockdown, I was like, what? That was my first experience actually being on set where the film is being done. I was like, I don't think this is really hard. So I had to call my friend. I felt like I would do this with young people that do not have the experience.
Okay.
So Bennett, who is someone that is good with handling cameras, I called him. We decided to make our first film, and the first film we did was Hustler. Okay. That is the film on internet fraud that was premiered in 2021. And there's been so many more, after that. So.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is really beautiful. So the both of you, should I say, took a leap of faith to discover what the future held is stock. Okay, that's amazing. Bennett, if I may ask, as a film director, how do you make sure that your schedules are met? I don't know whether you have a weekly schedule, monthly. How do you have a methodical time approach? Are you flexible?
Actually, I think I rather go with flexibility because Nigeria is where people hardly keep to time. So sometimes you get an appointment and they will tell you, okay, we need you to be on set to direct a film on Tuesday, and only to get a call the next morning and say, sorry, the A-list actor cancelled. So I think you should just be open for anything.
Okay.
I'm just open for flexibility.
Okay, all right. So what about you, Michael? As a film director, you're responsible for getting the cast and crew for the production. Yeah. So how do you go about getting the talents to make sure that this person is fit for this role, is the right camera person? How do you go about it?
Well, a film director is not actually meant to get those things. It's just that, you know, we are still beginning this journey.
Okay.
Yes, and eventually most of the films we did were our own movies. So we basically have to source for these things. But normally, as a director, if you contact me to work for you, I want to assume that you have everything sorted out. You have your actors ready, because there are different departments. There are production managers that make sure that all these things are ready. My job is to come there, see the script, work with the actors you have. But for our own film that we have to get this talent, sometimes, most of the times we do organize auditions, though sometimes like the audition might be online, we ask them to do a monologue. And then luckily we've been able to work with some of those people, so we know what their capacities and what they can do. So we work with mostly young people. They have the talent. Some of them, we actually gave them the first opportunity to ever be on set, you know. Yes, and of course there will be those that are not really that experienced, but we try to place those people in minor roles and then place the major ones in you know, the main roles. And with time they get better, because it's with more practice you get better. So that's how we've been doing it for a while now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. So far, we've been having a very beautiful discussion right now, but we're going to go on a short break. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. You're welcome back from the break. Okay, so over to you, Bennett. You're also charged with cautioning or reprimanding or motivating actors, you know, during production. How would you handle a situation where an actor is being unprofessional, is not behaving or acting well? How would you handle that situation?
I think I've been in many situations like that before, and the best way to handle it is dialogue. I don't believe that a director has to shout in order to exert the authority. Because the director is his authority. If you don't have authority over what is going on there, you lose your set. And once there's confusion between the two, it becomes a problem. So it's about dialogue. If an actor, especially the A-list, because usually that's where those things come from. And it's usually the directors that cause that problem. If, for example, an artist is charging, say, $50, and because of paddy, he says, okay, I will collect 20, and he accepts $20. Trust me, the actor wouldn't sign contract and wouldn't even usually obey your authorities on set. So the best way is start from the beginning. Have a contract prepared. Have the actor sign a contract. So when the actor defaults, the actor knows what's awaiting the actor. So it's usually about dialogue and how you start out from the beginning. So issues like this, out of respect, you can call the person out and have a word with the person. Then if that persists, then you should call off the shoot for the day and have a legal action against that.
Wow, sounds so serious. Speaking of which, Michael, what do you think in this light? What do you think is the most important quality that a film director should possess?
Well, you know, every director has their own unique way. You know, every director has their own styles and all that. But I think one of the major qualities is basically creativity. You need to be very creative, because sometimes you might get a script and the script will be whack. You have to, and you know that you need to deliver this. You might see some potentials, but maybe the screenplay was not really good. So if you are creative, you would be able to salvage that. You know, it has to be creativity, then patience. Just like Bennett said, you will see a lot on sets. Okay, just like when we shot the Dreamers TV series, the one I directed, and Beckard, when he directed, we worked with a lot of young people. And oh my God. And these are young people that are university undergraduates, but it was like I don't know, maybe because this is a secondary school setting, they were not behaving like secondary school. You need to sometimes, I lost my voice. So you need to be very patient with them, you know, and then a couple of other things. But I think if you have these two, you're creative and you're patient, then I'm sure you'll get, you know, somewhere with the work you're doing. So.
Okay, so if I should ask you, Michael, what do you think you love the most about being a film director?
Well, what I love most is, you know, like this freedom to do whatever I want. In the sense that if you get me angry today, maybe on set I'll create a character and then I'll kill the person with your name. So So being a film director gives you this freedom to tell beautiful stories.
Okay.
So if I can be directing a film today, and because of the insecurity situation, I can decide to add something there. That's my way of passing my message. So it gives me this. I love telling stories. So I get to tell stories, interpret it. Because sometimes when somebody is, let's say the first film I did, Stranded, the person that did a very good job. He's a very fantastic director. But then, as someone that's also creative, there are some things I would have loved that maybe happened or stuff like that. So being a director helps me to interpret this the way I want it to be, especially if it is my own project.
Yes.
So that's basically it.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. And what about you, Bennett? Is it possible that you have a favorite out of your many productions, and the most tasking as well? So your favorite and the most tasking for you?
I will start from the hard part. Which is the most tasking.
Okay.
I think the most tasking thing about being a director is the ability to interpret the story.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes you're controlling a team of people. You have the camera members, the camera crew, you have the makeup and the rest of them. Your ability to harness this whole thing together is actually the most tasking thing. Sometimes you give an instruction, somebody will feel like, why don't we do this openly?
Hey!
Why don't we do it? And it means somebody is subverting your authority.
Okay.
And sometimes, even when you have given the camera crew the instruction, do this way, and you call the shot, you do another thing, and at the end of the day, during the post-production, you get to see those things. So it's really daunting. So the most favorite thing about being a director is actually the ability to curate.
Okay.
Because they said God is the omnipotent. He created everything.
Okay.
So as a director too, is the ability to create memories, to create beautiful stories out of nothing. It can just, because like Michael said, currently we're having a security problem, and as a director, it can actually create an amazing film that tells the impact of security, impact of back security in Nigeria, and also the solutions to them. So I think this ability to create is the most fantastic thing about being a director.
Oh wow! So out of all this, the way you feel joy and everything, there can still be tasks and there can still be work, even as you love doing what you're doing. Oh wow! Okay, so Michael, would you like to tell us some of the social media platforms that you are in or you're on, so we can reach out to you, connect to you, and see some of your works?
Okay, well, I'm really trying to stick with my name, because at a point a lot of people started calling me Young Otto from when I was writing. So
I think
it became a problem.
I've been calling you Young Otto.
So basically my name is Michael Chinemike. If you go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, it's always Michael Chinemike. I think Facebook is Michael Ike. Okay. So that's, I always go with my name. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Bennett?
Okay. On Facebook, I'm Bennett Nwankwo official, a page. Bennett Nwankwo, a profile. On YouTube, I'm at Imagination TV.
Okay.
On Instagram, Bennett_95. On Twitter, Bennett Nwankwo 3.
Wow. I'm sure you got all of that. Okay, so just before we wrap this up, do you have any word of advice to film directors or people who want to be film directors, Bennett?
My advice is Kwechiri. Because it's not easy. Entertainment is a very competitive industry. If you don't have the passion, forget it. You'll give up even at an early stage. So just Kwechiri.
Okay.
It's good better.
Okay. Michael, any addition to the Kwechiri?
Well, the thing is, it's just like you said, if you think that you want to be a filmmaker or an actor or actress so that you'll be popular, so that you make a lot of money, because you see people, people you assume that they have a lot of money, then I promise you, you will fail willfully and you will not get shishi. So just know that do this because you are passionate about it, do this because you want to achieve something, because most of the people you think they are very rich, all they have is fame. So please just take it easy. Make sure you're passionate about what you're doing and just keep working hard. One way or another, it will work out. As long as you are paying attention to details, as long as you are making sure that your films are done very well, just one of these days, something good will happen to you. So just keep working hard. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, you've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen. The advice is to Kwechiri. As long as being in the film world is your first love, you're definitely going to make it. Thank you so much for that wonderful discussion, Bennett. Thank you for being here, Michael. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right, so as we wrap up the Creative Insight, we'll be bringing you the thought of the week. Stay tuned. Yes, this is the Creative Forum, and it's time to bring you creative updates from the creative sphere. Teens Journal, a literary magazine for non-native English creative writing, has made a call for submissions for short stories, flash fiction, poetry, essays, and artworks. For guidelines, go to www.teensjournal.com/submit. The Pan-African Film Festival has announced its call for entries for its 31st International Film Festival happening in Los Angeles in February 2023. To apply, go to filmfreeway.com or festhome.com. Thank you for joining us in today's segment. Till next time, I am your host, Divine Onyekwana.